The dog slowly got up and turned itself back into a cat. It was more stunned than hurt. Its first steps were very careful, then it increased its gait and quickly returned to aid Emily. Emily was still unresponsive when it returned. It walked up next to her and spoke to Emily. "Rise, Blackheart Witch." Emily slowly came to. She was a bit groggy. She wanted to know what happened, so she commanded the memory to come forth from her cat. "Remind me. Show me the things my mind and my black heart can't recall." In an instant, Emily saw the events through the cat's eyes. She saw herself crying. She saw how she made herself vulnerable as she grieved. Emily watched as Stanley rubbed her shoulders. She saw how Stanley raised his hand in hate. She also saw how her cat moved to protect her and scratched and bit Stanley before calling her back to consciousness. She looked at the cat and smiled. She then rubbed her forehead and healed herself. "I know you. I feel that I know you. I love you, of this I'm sure. Your heart is kind and youthful. You've protected me when I have unknowingly allowed myself to be vulnerable. While you have never spoken to me aloud that I'm aware of, you have spoken through your actions time and time again. My enveloped heart has prevented me from feeling and hearing much, but I can hear your voice and receive your calm and physical communication. Of course, this won't make sense to anyone but you. You understand, don't you?" Emily looked away as if searching for the right words to say and simultaneously wondering what laid ahead for her. She was still clearly in mourning and possibly permanently and irrevocably fractured emotionally from all the recent events and revelations. "You found me when I needed you most. My archaeologist died. You know the truth and you make sure that I'm aware of it, and I see it clearly. When we spoke with Stanley's mom, you knew she was sincere. When I enjoyed my sugar baby, you saw my suffering and healed me. I feel great warmth when you're next to me, when you're next to my chest. You comforted Stanley too. You were..." The cat spoke to Emily, albeit briefly, in a clear and uniquely familiar voice. It is uncommon for a protector to speak, and in the rare times they do, it is never for prolonged periods of time. A protector has an ability to communicate through gestures, nonverbal signs, and the conveyance of memories through touch. "Your son, I am your son." Emily began to cry. Unlike previous times, the sky didn't become a foreboding shade of gray. There was no thunder, no lightning, or even rain. The sky was clear and the moon was full. The moon's intensely yellow glow cast a beautiful shade of gold onto the deeply black-furred cat, her son. Emily admired the beauty of this being. Emily struggled with what to say. In her mind, she and Donald typically had such an open and fun-loving mother-son dialogue and relationship. She did not want the conversation to be strained, any more so than a woman speaking with a cat. She also did not want to miss the opportunity to express herself. She pulled together thoughts and expressed them non-congruently. "I was lost without you. It hurts me not to see you as you should be." The cat said nothing. He listened to his mom. More than needing to verbally console her, Emily needed someone she loved to talk to. From the time Donald turned 7 until his death, Emily and Donald talked openly and as pals. Emily yearned to tell her son everything. She wished for him to know all the things she was unable to say to him as her car spun around in the wake of the accident. As you laid there strapped in your seat, I reached for you and I called out to you. I told you to hold on. I said, "Hold on, Donald." I asked you to look at me. I tried to have you focus on me and not the pain you were clearly in. I told you Mommy and Daddy loved you. She went on to explain that she wanted to ride in the ambulance with him. She did not want him to be or feel alone, except that she too was injured or she would have been there. Touching the cat now meant even more to Emily. Her son was with her. She had more time with him. Emily still had separation anxiety, but took comfort in knowing that while he was not in his body, she had more than just memories or photos to rely on. she had the ability to spend time with him. The whole experience showed her that no one is truly in control and time really is fleeting. Donald's, the cat's, ability to speak was limited. In time, as Emily's powers grew, she would be able to do, undo, make, create, and bend any humanly held belief or ability. She would be nearly unmatched in time. For now, she would have to settle for the 31st of October to get a glimpse of what she would be able to do. No need for spells or a wand. Her mind, her thoughts, and her words could and would change all things. She called her little archaeologist to her. "Thank you for saving me." She stood up and commanded the cat to join her in her arms. She pointed to a branch and made it obey. "Come hither." The branch responded and moved to Emily's side. At her side, she presented the branch with a gentle kiss and uttered only a few words. "My broom, you will do." Emily caused the branch with its fan-shaped leaves to levitate and instructed the cat to follow her physical gestures. She then placed him on the leafy portion of the branch, and he jumped around until he found the perfect spot. Emily started to rise. She slowly floated upward until she was in a position to sit on the broom, with her left leg over her right leg, and with both legs pointed downward on the right side of the broom. She sat with perfect posture. In place, she extended her back. She lowered her shoulders and slightly raised her head. "Take us home." The broom whisked her and Donald, the cat, away. It is quite an unusual thought to imagine a person on a broom and flying through the air at high speeds. Even stranger to see a cat so calm as wind blows through his fur and passes across their face. The cat's body formed a perfectly inverted parabola. He extended his claws deep into the broom's wooden fibers and held himself firmly in place. As the wind swirled through the fur, the archaeologist knew he was at the beginning of an adventure, unlike one he had ever imagined in his backyard. This was a journey he wanted to see through to the end, and nothing he would not do, nor a place he would not go for the witch or his mother. They arrived at their house in what seemed like only minutes. Emily laid the cat comfortably on the couch to rest and went upstairs to shower and to think. The shower filled with steam as Emily slowly undressed. She opened the glass door, walked underneath the moderately warm raindrops coming from the shower head, and pressed her hands gently on the tile wall in front of her, and the water rolled down her back. "Tonight you've escaped my wrath and your demise. It will not happen again."